Let's look at the example here. Please find the period, the maximum and minimum value of function y equals sine x plus radical 3 cosine x. Basically, we need to find out the period and maximum minimum values of this function. We eventually will get the equivalent expression like this. Okay. Instead of working from the top to the bottom, let's this time work through from the bottom to the top. We know here is 2 times sine x plus another angle, pi over 3. Then we know by the sum formula of sine, we have then sine, cosine, cosine, sine. Here is x, first one. So we have x here, x here. Second angle is pi over 3. So I will put pi over 3 plus, then here is pi over 3. Temporarily, we will leave these two alone. Now, that's how we actually get sine x cosine pi over 3x right here. Sine cosine, cosine x, sine pi over 3 right here. Now we know sine pi over 3 is radical 3 over 2. And cosine pi over 3 is 1/2. Okay. Now, if this expression, if the expression here inside the quantity, this expression multiplied by 2, and 2 times 1/2 sine x, so you will get sine x. 2 times radical 3 over 2 cosine x, you cancel 2 and 2, you will have a radical 3 cosine x. So we know from the bottom to the top, everything works fine. Now, the things we want to know is that how can we find out this way? What's the natural way to think to get this final quantity, this quantity? Okay. So what was the motivative? Basically, what it says here. The motivative is like this. Sine x is 1 times sine x. Radical 3 cosine x. Then we know that if here the leg is 1, then radical 3 is approximately 1.732. Okay, so then this angle will be 60 degrees, which is what? which is pi over 3. Okay, so this is 1, so then we have a 1 here. We basically do is using the coefficient of sine x and the coefficient of cosine x radical 3 as two legs. Okay, whatever the coefficients are, we construct two legs with the corresponding length of two legs. And then we know this will be 2. Hypotenuse will be 2 because of what? 1 squared plus radical 3 squared is 2 squared. Then we know cosine 60 degrees is adjacent side 1 over hypotenuse, which gives us 2. Okay, so that's how we got 1/2 here. All right. And then opposite side radical 3 over 2 is radical 3 over 2 is sine pi over 3 is the opposite side here over hypotenuse. So basically the motive was using the coefficient of sine and the coefficient of cosine as two legs, we construct a right triangle. Okay, then we can eventually get this nice expression, this one, 2 sine x plus pi over 3. Okay, after we got this one, we then know sine has absolute value, which is less than or equal to 1. And then we know sine x plus pi over 3 is between -1 and +1. Okay, if you have a 2 here, then you times 2 everywhere. Times 2 everywhere. So you have the maximum value will be 2. The minimum value will be -2. Apparently here the period for sine is 2 pi. This one, pi over 3, plays a rule of shifting. It does not change the period. So the period is 2 pi. All right. Then we have solved this problem. Okay, I'll see you next time.